Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. I'm so glad you're here. You guys, buckle up for this part of the book because we have so much to discuss. So far, he really hasn't come for William too bad, but in this part, he really goes after William. We have so much to talk about with it. As always, thank you so much for being here. I'm Jen. In today's part, we're covering chapters 7. We're going to get through 8, and then I think do we go? Yeah, we start into chapter 9. So in case you're following along, I keep saying it, don't follow along, don't buy this book. I got it from the library. That's where we're getting this information from, and then it will promptly be returned. Thank you guys for all the lovely comments. I really appreciate you all. Now let's dive into this drivel. Now, in today's video, I want you to really pay attention to the background photos, especially Harold of Harold and Fraud. Why is that? Oh, because in this part of the book, Omid describes Harry as a positive, happy, and motivating person. Okay, just keep that in mind. He's disparaging William the whole time, but he's calling Harry positive, happy, and motivating, as evidenced by the photos you see before you. Makes about as much sense as the rest of this book does, right? All right, let's take a look at the happy, motivating. Oh, there he is. All right. You guys, my complaint about this book stands. This is not based in any reality whatsoever. He's basically slinging mud this time at William. Again, previously we've seen a lot at Charles, but this time at William. It gives zero evidence to back any of it up. He just makes these claims. And I know the royal family's not into, I don't know, they keep quiet. They don't cause a ruckus. But in this case, that's my southern word, ruckus. In this case, I hope they do. I hope William sues the pants off Omid. I hope those translators, the Dutch translators, sue the pants off Omid. I hope everybody sues the pants off Omid. And I hope they don't just stop there, because it is so clear in this book that it is written by Harry and Meghan. Now, I've seen the theories put out there that it's just Meghan involved in this book, but I'm telling you, reading it, it's got Harry all over it as well. I'll agree, it's probably mostly Meghan. This is my opinion. I have to say that. They claim they didn't work together. Bullshit. We can see right through it. But I'm telling you, this has Harry's hands on it too. They go hard after William in this part, and we're going to get into it. I'm going to discuss something I've never really talked about on the channel because I don't agree with it. I don't believe in it. I'll go over all the reasons why it's BS, but we're going to talk about the allegations against William and why I think it's BS. And we're going to talk about why it's coming up in this part of the book. But we'll get there. Let's pick back up with chapter 7. I'm stalling for time to remember the name of this damn chapter. I have it written down and now I can't find it. Hold on. It is, Race in the Royals. Okay. Again, I want to remind you, this whole thing, no matter what, the royal family, they keep pointing out how stodgy and antiquated it is and how Harry and Meghan are wonderful. Again, I'll get there, but another example of this, they go hard after William and how awful they're claiming he is. I don't believe it, but they're going hard into that. And yet how wonderful Harry and Meghan are. You guys, I cannot make this stuff up. There's a scene he paints of the sun rising over the mountains and the water sparkling from the Pacific Ocean. And Meghan's in the kitchen because, the mornings really are about family. They're very hands-on parents. This is all in the book. This is the nonsense, the level of nonsense we're dealing with in the book. Oh, yeah. Seems like the kids are super important to them, except for they're not. We never see them with them. There's not even car seats in the cars. There's just so many things that don't make any sense. We'll get there. I don't like talking about the kids. It's not about the kids. It's about the awful parents. How about that? All right. Back to this book. Chapter 7. I pick up on page 165 in case you're trying to follow along. Don't follow along. Page 165, they get into, and I'm saying they because, again, I'm saying Harry, Meghan, and Omid get into Recollections May Vary. Now, this is near and dear to my heart. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Honk, honk. I have merch that says Recollections May Vary. I love it. It's one of my favorite things ever, and it's very popular, and I love that people love it as well. So check that out. But he's coming for it. there's an interview recently, and I wish I had gotten the name of the podcast. I think it was on a podcast. I didn't get the name of it. It really doesn't matter. It's just that he's calling recollections may vary an ist word. And again, if you're new here, I say it like that because YouTube doesn't love that word, but you know what I'm talking about. Misogynist, the race one, all that. He calls it that. Okay. I'm pausing and shaking my head. I wish you could see me right now. All right. He says it was used to plant the seeds of doubt in people's mind. Again, every single thing, everything we know, they twist. This is what they do. I'm talking about Omid, Harry, and Meghan. So like this right here, recollections may vary was a very nice way the royal family to say, what the hell are you guys talking about? You're clearly lying, as evidenced by the Oprah interview. But it was a nicer, more regal way of saying that. And yet, again, Omid uses everything. And Omid and Meghan and Harry use everything to repaint things, to reimagine things, to make shit up. So in this case, they're using it, instead of owning any part that they may have had in that whole situation, it's that the royal family is the Istwards, and that they use that to plant seeds of doubts in people's mind about the struggles that Meghan was going through. Please read the sarcasm when I talk like that. They didn't want... They say, okay, this is Omid's version, right? He says that was put out there because they didn't want people pointing the finger at William and Catherine. So again, this is where we start to see the digs more at William and Catherine. He's trying to blame them in all this. I'm sorry. Did they go on Oprah and tell all the lies? I don't think they did. I don't remember that. Do you guys? Let me know in the comments. No, it was not them. It was Dumb and Dumberton right here on the screen. That, the happy couple right here, right? They're so happy. No, it was Dumb and Dumberton that went on and told all these lies. So it forced the royal family to put out a statement like this. But again, they love to twist things. He tries to put down Catherine for this, and then in a very shitty way says, basically, how dare she try to defend her family? I'm sorry, what? Again, I'm sorry. You're telling me Harry and Meghan are these model parents. I'm sorry, I can't say that without laughing. And yet Catherine is not allowed to defend her family? Really? All right. Again, this is the level of, just straight up bias that we're dealing with, which is so funny because when I say bias, I think of Harry saying unconscious bias. All right. Then he goes on with this drivel and says the palace was unwilling to accept what Meghan stood for. He used her titles. I won't do it. I hope they're gone soon. What Meghan stood for, this is on page 169, and wouldn't help her when she needed it most. So again, this is such bullshit, this narrative. So I'm sorry. Harry was very much a part of this. He couldn't help her, but that's not his fault. Nothing is their fault. It's everybody else's. So once again, it's everybody else's fault that Meghan needed help. I've said it before. I don't believe it, but let's just play devil's advocate and say, okay, yeah, sure, she needed help. Okay, fine. She couldn't get help herself for whatever reason. Okay, fine. Let's keep believing stuff, right? I have some property to sell you if you believe stuff. But let's just keep believing, right? But Harry couldn't help her, but that's not his fault. He was completely checked out of this, but that's not his fault. It's everybody else's, right? Everybody else's fault, always. All right. Then we get into chapter 8, gloves on. Oh, don't worry. You know what chapter 9 is called? Gloves off. See what he did there? He's so clever. Again, read the sarcasm. I'm getting eye strain from rolling my eyes so hard at this. All right. This is hard. This chapter sucks. This is where they really go after William. And again, I'm saying they on purpose. They really go after William. They paint him as keen to be seen as like favored and forward thinking. But yet, even saying it like that, it's undermining anything he actually has done to be forward thinking. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm stuck on that. I keep saying I'm sorry. All right. I have all these notes, but this is just occurring to me right now, so go with me on this journey. So they're keen to paint William as this horrible monster who's trying to be the favorite son. But again, I say, did Did William go on Oprah and air all the grievances? Did he write a book called Spare and try to be the hero? No, he did not. That was Harry that did that. But again, no mention of that. It's all William's fault, always. Calls William, they go on to call William tolerant in his public role, but not privately. So again, these are some serious, serious accusations. No backing, no proof, no anything. Just Omid saying these things. And again, the three of them saying these things, nothing to back it up. So by saying stuff like that, obviously it's not affecting us, but it's affecting the idiots. Some idiot somewhere is going to read this and be like, oh, that's awful. William's awful, you know. Believe me, I don't want to be friends with that person, but you know what I'm saying? Like somebody might believe you, even though there's no facts to, I mean, that's just what they do. They just throw out these statements with no facts to break them up. Okay. To back them up. Continuing on, page 174. They blame William and Catherine for their silence after the Oprah of it all. Okay. Again, I'm sorry, who went on national TV to air all these grievances? I don't think it was William and Catherine. And honestly, I think their silence was the nicest possible thing they could do for Harry and Meghan. Because I wish, and I think a lot of you wish, they just let it rip. But I understand. I get comments like, no, they need to keep calm, carry on, you know, all the things. Remain stoic, be quiet. I get what you're saying, but damn, you know, like I want them to rip them a new one. I want them to release those bullying reports. There's nothing to hide. Where are they still hidden? All I'm saying. Excuse me. Okay, let's keep going. See, I yell so much into the mic, I lose my voice. Let me make some tea. Back in a sec. All right, ladies and gents, this is the hard part. I've been bracing for this. I actually had to make, well, to quote some of my favorite people from the UK, a cuppa. I love that so much. I had to make a cuppa. All right. This is the part I've been dreading. I have never talked about this before because I think it's bullshit, but they're bringing it up over pages of this book. Okay. So we're going to talk about it, even though I don't want to. Here we go. Can you tell I'm stalling? Here we go. They bring up allegations of infidelity on the part of Prince William. All right. They dedicate pages to this. They discuss her name in detail. They discuss him and her in detail. But then he tries to cover his ass, I think, from not getting sued to say rumors are rumors. Okay. All right. Here's my thinking on this. Let's talk about it. Because I do have Sugars saying stuff like this in my comments. I tried to look into it some. I know others have looked into it. This is something I do want to look into, but then I think I don't want to make a video about it because I don't want to draw any more attention to what I believe is total nonsense. Here's my true thoughts. This is my opinion. I have to say that because of these three, but I'm telling you now, this is my opinion on what really went down here. All right. This is all Meghan. Meghan came up with this story. Rose is a friend of Catherine's, and we've seen Rose together with Catherine since all this, and I don't think that'd be the case if there's any shred of truth to this. Meghan is a horrible monster who we've seen a pattern of awfulness toward Catherine. Okay, she's pathological. And it is my opinion that Meghan made up this shit because she knew it would hurt, because it's a friend of Catherine's, a longtime friend of Catherine's. They use a story to try to paint Meghan as a victim. How? By making William into a monster. And then by saying that, when William was going through all this with the rumors, Meghan was told with her rumors. What rumors? I don't know. She's like whining about the way the press treated her early on. You know, all that bullshit. Even though the press seemed to be great to her, whatever. Don't let the truth stand in your way, right? So I think, it is my opinion, that Meghan made all this shit up to play victim, to be like, look, see, the palace was trying to help William. They're not helping Meghan. But again, let's really think about this. Why would they try to help William? Because it's lies. Why wouldn't they try to help Meghan? Because she's lying. What I mean is Williams are lies against him. So they're helping him saying, no, these are lies. And we'll get into it. The guy that tweeted out the rumor originally ended up retracting it. But don't let the truth stand in your way, Meghan. Not in the way of a good victim story, right? And I believe that she's saying this because the palace probably didn't help her because there was nothing to help her with. The press was still treating her well. So in 2017, all right, they were living in Not Caught, right? Again, look at the happy faces on the screen. They're living in Not Caught. And that seems to be about when they can trace this rumor to have started, from what I could tell from my online research. Okay. Again, this is all alleged, but I'm telling you what I found and what I believe to be the case. Harry and Meghan met with this reporter. I think he's a reporter. I don't know what you call him. I guess he's a reporter. As much as Omid is. I don't know. Giles. God, I wrote it down. Corrin. Corrin is his last name. That's right. Giles Corrin. I know his sister is Victoria Corrin Mitchell. I've seen her on Taskmaster. Okay. Brother, Giles Corrin. Okay. He worked for Times of London. I don't know if he still does, but he did. All right. So the theory is, and this is just a theory, just like Omid said to cover his ass, it's a rumor until it's not a rumor, right? Harry and Meghan met with Giles, so yeah, I guess those three, allegedly at the Soho House. And then it was right after that, he spread it around, right? He tweeted something out, and I went to find the tweet. I found some that people say are the tweets, but because I can't verify it's a tweet, I'm not sharing it here. You can Google it. You can find it. He spread it around, but then deleted it, I think within like a couple of hours, and then admitted it was not true. Okay. Allegedly, all the things. All right. So again, I'm going to point my finger back. Believe me, Harry's not off the hook. Harry very much was involved, it sounds like, too, allegedly. But I'm pointing my finger right back at you, Meghan. 2017, you were very much a part of this. The rumor got spread around through this asshole who I wish they would have sued him. It sounds like he was threatened and then he took it down. And these rumors were unsubstantiated. And so the press, they stayed away from it. But see, Harry and Meghan are mad and they're, again, trying to spin things. And they're trying to say, oh, look, see, it's because of racial issues. They'll ignore it when it's William, but they won't when it's Meghan. And I'm like, no, it's because it's bullshit. You're petty and awful and you're mean and you're a horrible person. And you're pathologically jealous of Catherine, Princess of Wales. So you're coming after her. And they're trying to think, what's the worst thing to hurt Catherine? Oh, I know. Trying to spread vicious rumors and lies about her marriage. And hey, let's throw in a good friend of hers while we're at it. Yeah, let's do that. That's my opinion on what happened. They can spin it any way they want. It's bullshit. The whole thing's bullshit. And honestly, I feel bad for the girl. I don't even like saying her name. And it's not against her. It's because I don't think it's right to spread rumors about her when I don't think, in my opinion, she did a single thing wrong. I think that's wrong what they did to her. But Meghan doesn't give a shit. She'd use anybody, and she seems to really like to hurt women. She can pretend to be an activist all she wants, but she sure as shit loves to go after Catherine, Princess of Wales, so she can try to take her down and maybe take down another woman too. Then she feels like she's won. So I really think that's where it came from. That's my opinion. All right, I'm ready to move on from this. I'm dying to know your thoughts on this. Leave them in the comments below. All right, let's move on. But just know I'm completely disgusted by this whole book, but especially this part. All right, we are still in this chapter, and we're on page 180. There's claims that William outwardly embodies the Queen and is pro-institution, but then inwardly he has a temper. Okay. Then they continue on the storyline, again, basically bashing William and going on and on about his horrible temper. And I'm sorry, once again, the only evidence we've seen is that Harry has a temper, not William. Harry revealed it in Spare, basically. He belittles William and Catherine. And again, Omid does this in the book, but I'm saying Harry and Meghan were involved. They belittle William and Catherine for being, quote, mental health ambassadors. Let that sink in. And then they say they did little, or they didn't express any empathy for Meghan. Okay. Are we forgetting that Harry was part of this Heads Together, I believe it was called? Are we just going to forget that? Not we, but I'm talking about Omid. He's a really shitty writer because, again, he's only one-sided and he's not remembering, oh, yeah, Harry was a part of that. But, hey, don't let the facts stand in your way. Let's just blame William and Catherine. Again, why is it their fault? They can't answer it, but talking about Harry and Meghan can't answer why it's William and Catherine's fault. They just like to blame, especially Catherine, for things. Reeks of the wife. All right, page 182 calls out William as, Omid. He's pretending like he knows William by saying he used to be enjoyable to be around. Okay, again, I'm saying this is more spin. Think about this. I wonder why William might have changed around Omid. Weird. Could be the way you've glommed on to Harry and Meghan. That might have him changing how he is around you. Just a guess. 2 pages later, still on about William's anger. I mean, again, it's just pushing this narrative that I don't believe is there. And honestly, raise your hand if you're one of the ones, because I'm raising my hand right now, that fell in love with William even more after reading Spare. If that dog bowl story about pushing Harry into a dog bowl or something and then breaking his necklace, whatever the story was. I don't believe anything from Spare, but I want to believe that part. And if that's true, it makes me love William even more. He refers to, here we go. And then Omid goes into Harry and says, he's got newfound freedom and he's now onto justice-seeking campaigns. What the fuck are we talking about? Tell me what justice-seeking campaign he's on. Because the only thing it seems is revenge. Justice and revenge, not the same things. That's what it seems like to me. They go on to call William work shy. And again, I say, I'm sorry. Are we forgetting about Harry and Meghan, who are known to have the worst work ethic of any people ever? Again, see the podcast for details. I believe lazy grifters was thrown around. Just saying. I don't remember hearing William called that. This chapter wraps up with a discussion of Spare and says that, can you believe it? William says he didn't read it. I don't blame him. I mean, it's just a bunch of lies. Why would he want to read that? And it's mostly about himself and his wife. Why would he want to read that? Also, Omid is saying that William refers to Harry as lost. And I'm like, hey, finally, Omid gets something right because Harry is lost. The only one that can't see that is Omid. All right. And then we go into chapter 9. You guys, I cannot with this bullshit. So I'm not kidding. He goes from the chapter of William being the worst or whatever he's saying about William here. And then he goes into Harry and Meghan and they can do no wrong. I'm not even kidding. This chapter opens up with that, like I was saying, the morning sun rises over the mountains. The Pacific Ocean sparkles. Meghan's preparing breakfast. And, they have to spend time with their kids before. I can't even. They shift into work mode. Again, what work are we talking about? What kids are we talking about? What are we talking about? No details given. No information to back any of this up. Just assumptions made, right? But he doesn't talk to them. So he doesn't. Why would he know their schedule if he doesn't talk to them? Oh, God. Keep the mornings for family only. No staff. This is another ludicrous claim by Omid. They're hands-on parents. They do school runs every day. Again, this is, what's the word? Sycophantic, I think, at this point. How much he is just the sun rises and sets with Harry and Meghan. They can do no wrong. They're amazing at everything. They're the best workers, the best parents, as we've seen. Haha, right. They're not busy trying to schedule things to try to overshadow the royal family or, calling back grid or anything like that. Okay. Then he goes on to pick he picks on the press, saying they have an obsession with the number of bathrooms in their sprawling California compound. What the fuck? What are we talking about? What? I don't even know why I'm trying anymore. I don't know why I'm trying to make sense of this. It makes no sense at all. And then we have a friend describing Harry as a positive, happy, and motivating force. And that's where I've hit my level of BS for the day. So I'm going to do here. Oh, you guys. I just had to get all this out here. I feel like I just want to convey to you the level of nonsense we're dealing with. The lies, the one-sidedness, this is Meghan. This is Meghan. This is her book. Here we go. They can say it all they want. This is Meghan, especially when I see it coming for Catherine and William's marriage. This is Meghan. I mean, I think in the anger stuff, that's Harry, but I think this is Meghan. Yep. All right. I'm going to leave it here. Thank you guys for everything. Thank you for sticking with me while I recap this book. We're going to make it. We're going to do this, and we're going to celebrate hard when we do. But I do think it's important because I have people saying, why are you covering this? It's important to call out all the lies. And so we know what we're dealing with because they are three scary people who have no concept of the truth or anything even truth adjacent. Thank you guys for everything. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for all the love you've shown. Thank you for the comments, the thumbs up. It all helps. I really appreciate it. If you want to further support, check out my Recollections May Vary merch because you know what Omid says. I find that absolutely ridiculous. Also, we have Not Bloody Likely. I think it fits. And Drunk Goose Club, honk honk. And if you're new here and you're like, what's with the goose stuff and the honking? Well, some of Meghan's cronies told me I sound like a drunk goose, to which I say, honk honk, come sit next to me. I'll wrap my feathers around you. We'll honk at each other. I find it so funny. Also, check out Patreon, patreon.com/Real Housewives Recaps. That's where I do my bonus deep dives and extra content, and I'm putting up stuff like every 2 to 3 days over there, so check that out. And you can become an executive producer like the lovely ladies and gents you see on the screen before you. As always, thank you guys for everything, and I would say I can't wait to bring you more stuff like this, but that's a damn lie. We'll bring you something more fun. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.